Okay, so with the obvious upcoming, well, now that the first ever Hansen versus Predator sting is in the can, so to speak, figured I'd check out, the subject of controversy because it's gonna be coming. It's gonna be coming. So I figured I'd take a look at something similar that's been going on in Florida. Uh, Grady Judd, okay, has nothing to do with Hands vs. Predator or any of that, but just the whole Florida thing itself is interesting. In this article itself, you can see is August 9th, 2014, but I think it's permanent. I've only read down to about here, and then I stopped. Got to keep it fresh. So, and the other thing too is that, and you'll see this when we get to the bottom, this link that leads to part two takes you back to this article. So somebody got to somebody. That's all I can say. Somebody got to somebody. But there is a second one by this station also. Wow. So I think it's pertinent, just something to just, prep yourself for the controversy that's going to come when this thing hits the, well, I don't know about the airwaves, but it's going to hit the internet waves. So anyway, let's check this out here. Now, Grady Judd, I'm telling you, look him up on YouTube. His press conferences are hilarious. This guy is just baller, man. Baller. Oh, man, I tell you, but very controversial. Very controversial. Very controversial. Okay, so here we go. So, okay, here we go. Officers bend rules to boost sexting arrest totals. Dum 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 dum. Pretty decent sized article too. So be prepared. Be prepared. And it's only 6:46. I'm gonna make this one. You ain't gonna get me at 2 a.m. this time. Damn you, Maurice Woolen. All right, so here we go. Okay, and this is why too, because they mentioned Chris Hansen directly and To Catch a Predator, so it all kind of ties in. So in the decade since Chris Hansen and To Catch a Predator popularized internet stings, more than 1,200 men in Florida alone, oh my God, have been arrested, accused of preying on underage teens and blah 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 blah. But as the stings put more and more men behind bars, detectives are working harder and harder to keep up their arrest numbers. Like, maybe they should wear more ghillie suits. Fort Myers, what? And the tactics, exactly, ghillie suits. And the tactics they're using to put alleged offenders in jail are sweeping up large numbers of, oh, listen to this, law-abiding men. Boo! Boo! This is what they call the mainstream media, the drive-by media. Uh, a year-long investigation by 10 Investigates, and I think they're out of, where are they out of? Tampa? Tampa Bay, Sarasota, okay. Uh, Reveals many of the men whose mugshots have been paraded out by local sheriffs and made for TV press conferences. Again, go to YouTube, look up Grady Judd conference or just Grady Judd and just revel in it. It's awesome. Okay. Were not seeking to meet children online. Instead, they were minding their own business looking for other adults when detectives started to groom. Oh, yeah! Yeah! Grooming the predator. I knew it. I knew it. Man, I'm so far ahead of my time, man. I swear. But wait a second. This article came out before my videos did. Damn. Damn it. You got me there, News 10. All right. And convince them to break the law. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. They're gonna, provide their proof here. So while detectives used to post ads suggesting an underage teen or child was available, they now routinely post more innocuous personal ads of adults on traditional dating. Oh goodness, dating sites. When men, many of them under 25, with no criminal history, respond, officers switch the beat. Okay, well, yes, that's gonna happen. So, you ain't convinced me yet. And typically indicate their age is really 14 or 15. Okay. However, sometimes the storyline, oh my gosh, dude, serious. I've said all these things storylines, grooming, but I bet you they ain't got the concept of bracketing. Isn't switched. Okay, the storyline isn't switched until the men who were looking for legal love. Oh, come on, men. Stop looking for love. It doesn't exist. It's in your head, man. It's all in your head. You can only love yourself, okay? You can only love yourself. Okay. Who were looking for legal love already start falling for the undercover agent. Come on. Falling? Really? Come on. Nope, I'm not convinced yet. Try harder, Channel 10. All right, according to arrest affidavits inspected by 10 Investigates, law enforcement is also now routinely making first contact. Ooh, now see, now they're breaking away from the PJ protocol. Let's just call it that, the PJ protocol. Yeah, you never make first contact with men who have done nothing wrong. Responding to their ads on dating sites like plentyoffish.com. After men start conversing with what they think are adults, officers change the age they claim to be. Okay, yeah. But try to convince the men to continue the conversation anyway. Did anybody just read the Maurice Wolin chat? Yeah, yeah. It's when they're selling fake drugs and all that shit, they're gonna try to convince you. Okay. Unfortunately, my recording stuff won't let me play that. Well, anyway, state of the article. All right. Other examples include undercover officers showing interest in a man. Okay, that's nice. Then later, introducing the idea of blank with blank. If the men indicate they weren't interested, okay, they were still often arrested for just talking to the adult. Slam. Okay, now let's see. Now remember, this has nothing, these guys are not directly related to Hansen versus Predator. Okay, I'll probably say that multiple times. We're just looking at, courting controversy. But this is the kind of swampy land with Florida, no pun intended. The swampy, legalese or whatever they're getting into. Critics of the stings, including a number of prominent Tampa Bay law enforcement leaders, ouch, tell 10 News the operations make for yeah, better press conferences than they do crime fighting. Well, like I said, you got to see it on YouTube. Many of the men who are arrested for sexual predator crimes see little jail time. Really? Okay. I don't know about that. But Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd, there he is, when asked about over aggressive detectives, yes. Instead, went on the offensive. Yeah, that's what makes this guy so awesome, dude. He never defends, he offends. I love this guy. The concern I have is that you inflate your investigative reporting to make it glitzy. Oh, wow, okay. Judges have also been very critical of some of the tactics used in the stings, which violate Internet Crimes Against Children guidelines. Interesting. Among the comments from judges in recent entrapment decisions, okay, case numbers withheld to protect the defendants. Wow, interesting. Quote, it was the agent who repeatedly steered the conversation. Oh man, I would love to see them chat logs. Conversation back to sexual activity with a minor. The government made a concerted effort to lure. Yeah, I'm still claiming it, man. That's my concept. Luring the predator to committing a crime. Quote, the undercover officer failed to follow the procedures. Oh my god. It's up to these are the people's chat logs. We must see and decide for ourselves. Quote, the law does not tolerate government action to provoke a law abiding citizen to commit a crime. Okay. Good quotes in and of themselves. So far, that one sentence about, just because they talk to an adult, they got arrested. Ouch. Okay, the judge in one dismissed case. Now, talking about dismissed case, right? Michael Willis, he's one. The Gosling, yeah, he's another one. Um, the other guy who wanted to see the library card, he got his thing dismissed as well. And that was Fort Myers TCAP. Okay, criticized the undercover officer for failing to follow procedures. Oh, there's that quote. And, quote, the officer controlled the tone, pace, and subject matter of online conversation, pushing toward a discussion of sexual activity. The blurring of legal and ethical lines has led many agencies, such as the Pasco County Sheriff's Office, the Hillsborough County. Okay, now Grady Judd is Polk. Okay, he's Polk County. Real famous there, man. Real famous that guy is. The blurring of legal and ethical lines has led many agencies. Okay, Pasco County, Hillsborough County, and most of most of South Florida to focus their cybercrime resources on other areas of online abuse instead of conducting to catch a predator style stings. Oh man, the reverberations of TCAP are just still going, man. They're still going. They spend their time and effort on areas where there are known victims at immediate risk, like blank and blank. But the time and resource intensive predator stings are still alive and well in West Central Florida. Out in the West Central Florida town of Citrus County. Right? Uh, I fell in love with an underage girl. Anybody know that song? Oh, snap. There it is, just for reference. Marty Robbins, El Paso. Great song. Out in the, what was it? West Central Florida town of Citrus County. I fell in love with an underage girl. Oh, it's such a great song. I mean, he doesn't say underage girl. It's a Mexican girl, I think. But it's a great song. Check it out. Anyway, operating. Okay, wait a second. Let's get back. But time and resource intensive predator stings are still alive and well in West Central Florida, operating under the watchful eye of, okay, the ICAC task force leader, Judd. Okay, Grady Judd. Grady Judd's favorite topic. Boom! Grady Judd slam. Sheriff of Polk County since 2005. Wow. Judd has made it clear that targeting sexual predators is his top priority. He called hunting predators. Oh, this is great. Hunting predators. His favorite topic at a recent Predator Sting press conference. Oh, that's, yeah, look up Grady Judd Predator Sting press conference. Oh my god, they're hilarious. Oh man, he gives no dams, man. He gives no dams. And he has invited national media outlets, boom, along for some of the operations. Whoops. The Predator Stings have been featured in 3 MSNB special. What? Hello, where is this? Oh no, I've got to see that. As oh, excuse me, as well as a recent CNN series. Let me make a note of this. Okay, so back to it. But anyway, I mean, in his role, he has to pick a subject. Something has to, do the wherever a compass points. So he's got to pick his compass, and so he chose that, and because for obvious reasons. So anyway, but Judd has been much less forthcoming when it comes to questions of how detectives lure in their targets and whether innocent men are getting swept up too. Oh my gosh. Improper use of the word too. You need an extra O on there. Judd has failed to provide public records to 10 Investigates on the following issues. Dum dum dum. The language in the ads detectives post. How detectives responded when innocent men showed no interest in speaking to teens. If detectives are doing the stings because there's a problem of teens looking for adults online, nah, I don't think they are. I think the first thing that a real teen would be like, ooh, gross, block. Uh, how many men get baited, excuse me, how many men get baited before detectives find someone to investigate? Okay, I mean, I guess those are legitimate questions. We're not going to go to previous articles. That's just getting further in the past. We're trying to stay relevant. Remember, this is, we're. I think this article is a little more than a year old, but still, it's relevant, I think. Okay, so Judd said the overwhelming majority of men who communicate with detectives do the right thing and either end communication or report the officer posing as an underage teen or parent of bringing up a child to authorities. But he won't even turn over those. He won't even turn. Okay. God, man. Bad grammar can fuck you up. But he won't even turn over those communications. A possible violation of Florida statute, blah, blah, blah. Judd says the records are exempt from state record laws because all of those men are still under investigation. Oh, what a dark specter, right? Oh my goodness. For they may surface in future stings. Wow. Wow. No online dating for me. However, that that indicates Judd and other law enforcement leaders around Tampa Bay and Sarasota who have now used the same exemption to withhold records have active, okay, oh wow, it's underlined, have active investigations open on hundreds, oh, if not thousands, please, it's not thousands, have active investigations open on hundreds, if not thousands, of men who did nothing more than legally communicate with adults on legal websites. Ouch. Well, gotta see the chats. Truth's in the chat logs. The state's best known lawman also showed little concern for due process during a Tuesday press conference to tout arrests since March in predator style stings. He pointed to 132 mugshots on a giant poster board. Oh, yeah, I've seen these conferences. They're awesome. And called the men sexual predators. But when 10 Investigates pointed out some of the men had already been cleared of charges, he said they were still fair game because, quote, we have a very liberal, a very forgiving criminal justice system. And that takes you. Okay, that might be another article. Let me see if that just comes up something. We'll check that later. Let me move him down. Yep, that is a different article. Come over here. Whoops. Uh-oh. Men cleared of men cleared of crimes, still sexual predators. Oh man. Oh man, this is going to be a long one. But okay. Um the system may give defendants the benefit of doubt and assume innocent until proven guilty, but Judd makes sure the mugshots and stigma of being arrested for a sex crime haunts the men for the rest of their lives. Ouch. Critics point out that many of the 1,200 men. Okay, now remember, I'm gonna step back for a second. Let's not forget, this is about Hansen versus Predator. Okay, so and Hansen versus Predator has nothing to do with what's going on in Florida. This is just, the potential controversy. I don't think that the Fairfield sting netted 1,200 men. Oh God, who were ultimately arrested in Florida and called sexual predators weren't preying or even looking for kids. Many were seeking adults. The majority of them were in their teens or 20s at the time, and approximately 97% of the men had zero history of any crimes. Yeah, it's the same thing with TCAP there. Oh God, quote, the biggest waste ever. Oh, come on. I'm detecting undertones. I'm detecting undertones in this article. While countless West Central Florida law enforcement agencies have gotten involved in the predator stings, including the sheriff's offices in Polk, Pinellas, Manatee, Citrus, and Sarasota, some agencies were noticeably absent at Judd's season ending press conference. Judd indicated the Hillsborough Sheriff's Office was a part of the operation but was unable to attend. However, a Hillsborough County Sheriff's spokesperson said that the agency has not been a participant. Ooh, interdepartmental, whateverness going on there. While HCSO, Hillsborough Sheriff's County Office, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, good, get it right, has a full-time internet predator unit. Oh my God, could you imagine being on that team? The internet predator unit, tum tum tum. Oh God, laptops and squad cars, man, squad cars. it has been reluctant to dedicate the huge resources needed for a to catch a predator style sting. Instead, their detectives are focusing on offenders that are participating in the proliferation of blank, focusing on blank and blank who are exploited. Um, Hillsborough detectives say those types of arrests tend to yield better conviction rates, longer prison terms, and also provide law enforcement other leads on areas of crime like sex trafficking. Ugh. Pasco Sheriff Chris Noko? Hope I'm Noko. No, we'll go with Noko. Could be Nocho. Noko has adopted similar priorities, saying his cybercrime unit is extremely proactive and focused on the areas of the worst. Quote, any way you can take a sexual predator off the street is tremendous, especially those that are online looking at blank. They may do something physically against a kid. Okay, he was complimentary of ICAC. I forget what that acronym stands for. But he's not a huge fan of the to catch a predator style stings, saying the prosecutions often don't hold up. You spend your resources, you arrest somebody, and then they walk right out. It's the biggest waste ever. ICAC stings typically cost tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes close to $100,000 in costs and officers' time, and that doesn't include the costs to prosecute and jail defendants. 10 investigates found light plea sentences are sometimes offered because suspects simply aren't considered dangerous offenders, contrary to Judd's claims. Local law enforcement leaders also refused to turn over ICAC guidelines, claiming they were confidential investigative material. But a copy 10 Investigates obtained through court records, man, I wish I could get to those court records, indicates the online undercover stings, which typically don't involve real children or victims, well, yeah, decoys, are not even specified in the list of priorities agencies are supposed to target. And then here's, these, what are they? The guidelines. Okay. Almost all of South Florida's law enforcement agencies have moved away from the stings as well. Broward County Sheriff's Office, which is in charge of the South Florida ICAC Task Force, told 10 Investigates it was time for the agency to move on to other areas of cybercrime fighting. The other victims. There may be no excuses for men who victimize children or those that look for underage victims online. However, it's easier to make the case for the men who were swept up in the stings when they were looking for online adults. So, yeah, they need to elaborate on this. I hope they get to that real quick. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. Quote, my son was stalked by law enforcement for 3 days, said the mother of a 22-year-old arrested in one of the stings. 10 investigators are protecting the identity of her family. The son was on Craigslist's personal pages looking to meet other adults. He responded to a ha 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 no strings attached ad for a 26-year-old woman. He says her story changed a few times. Oh, there you go, right there, including the claim she was only 13, but he was skeptical. Well, there you go. There you go. He spoke on the phone to the undercover, and she sent a photo in which she was wearing a wedding ring. Oh, no. He said he was sure she was an adult. Oh, God. So he made plans to meet her. When he arrived, he was arrested. He was later sentenced to 2 years of house arrest and a lifetime as a registered sex offender. Now, I want to jump out of here for a second. They've posted these stings on YouTube, and they are nothing like the Hansen style. What happens is there's the guy is coming up to the door and he's got cameras out. There's minimal cameras. There's a camera outside and then there's a camera inside. And literally there's like 5 or 6 dudes right on the inside of the door. And then they have one person that opens the door and the rest of the crew, right? And so the person opens the door and they just grab the guy, dude, and wrestle him to the ground and you hear, ah! There's no talk. There's no, what are you doing here? Or you're quite the prolific chatter. None of that, dude. It's just hardcore. Just door swings open. They grab the guy, man. It's incredible. Really, like, just straight to the point. He had a life of promise. He had an education. That's all been shot. She says her son is paying the price of opportunistic lawmen. Okay. Board certified defense attorney Anthony Ryan says law enforcement officers have become experts in coercing innocent men into breaking the law. They are really good at subtly turning conversations into what's called grooming the predator. Nailed it. Oh, man. Statements into sexual innuendo, whether or not the other side intended that. Ryan, who has a practice in Sarasota, just got a 23-year-old client's case dismissed. Wow. In Manatee, a judge ruled deputies entrapped his client, writing that their tactics had no place in modern day law enforcement. Wow. I'd love to see these chat logs. I would love to see these chat logs. Ryan adds that officers are pushing the boundaries further and further to keep up their arrest numbers. Yeah, I can see that. People, you prosecute the crime, people stop committing the crime. And keep the federal ICAC grants flowing. Ah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, the money, the money, the money, the money. And responding to legal ads on legal dating sites crosses the line. Yeah. Once the low hanging fruit is sort of gone, taken off the tree, Ryan said, there's still pressure from high above to justify these actions. Oh no, and that's it. Oh, just like a chat log. Yeah, and guess what happens? If you bring up this link, okay, watch. It's the same article. It's the same article. It's the same article. And I'm just going to scroll real quick to be sure. Yeah, yeah, it's the same. It's the same article. It's the same article. Okay, so wow, that ended like a chat log. Okay, whoops. Okay, so then now let me do a time check. Ah, damn it, I'm at my 27 mark. Okay, let me process this and then we'll just finish up with these two links here.